Szanowni Państwo, dzisiaj już mówię do Państwa po raz ostatni, ponieważ konferencję zaraz po naszym ostatnim panelu zakończy Piotr, który ten panel poprowadzi. Tak jak wspominałam przy poprzednim wejściu, Best Global Practices in Robotics. Będzie to panel po angielsku. Widziałam na czacie pytanie, czy ten panel zostanie udostępniony później w materiałach. Tak, zostanie udostępniony wraz z tłumaczeniem. Także proszę się nie martwić, ale kto może, zachęcam do pozostania. Za chwileczkę startujemy. A ja zobaczę się z Państwem jutro o godzinie 9:30. Bądźcie z nami. Do zobaczenia.
Hi, and the final panel, which was planned a couple months. And of course, we have number of issues. This is the panel when we have people from 4 continents with many experience, for many industries. And of course, with such complications at the very beginning, we have to face with them and we have to somehow deal with them. We have, at that moment, as I know, 3 guests and we are waiting for another 3 of them, but I do hope we'll find them. Let's start. Hi, hello. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm really happy. I'm really happy that you are with us. This is the first panel of our conference when we were brave enough to invite people from around the world. I know that you know our platform slightly. I do hope we will cooperate very closely very soon. Let's start with a short presentation. My name is Piotr Wiśniewski. I'm DBR77 founder and CEO. I'm the host of that event, and I do hope we'll have very good discussion today about the robotization, digitalization, and anything which is connected with them. Guys, let's go. Gustavo, I know that you have to leave us before the end, so maybe you will start.
Thank you, man. Look, I'm Gustavo. I'm a second generation of factory. We supply hoses, rubber hoses and mats, polyurethane, rubber and TPO mats for the truck and automotive business. My company has 60 years old, 40,000 meters square. And I founded Data Wake, that is a startup that puts artificial intelligence in shop floor. We have been doing this since the last 7 years. So that's me, man. And I know Piotr 10 years ago. We know already. Yeah, very nice. It's a pleasure, man.
Yeah, Gustavo, thank you that you join us. Guys, this is fun story. In my previous life, I was the CEO of Maflo, that was a global automotive supplier. We had a plant in Brazil, and Gustavo was our huge competitor. And when I heard first time about Paranoia, I was crazy because that guy were able to take all our business from us. And finally, I asked him for a meeting. We met on his plant, and during our first visit, he presented to me his first robot. This is the reason why I invited Gustavo today, because Gustavo can share with us what's going on with robotization now in Brazil. And the situation, according to statistics, doesn't look really very well. So I'm really interested about your voice. Okay, let's go further. Gabriel, tell us your story.
Good morning or evening, depending on where you are in the world. I'm Gabriel Goldman. I'm a senior commercialization specialist at the National Robotics Engineering Center. This is a center in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in the US, and it's part of Carnegie Mellon University. Our center has been around for about 30 years, developing highly complex robotic systems in multiple industries, from government applications to automation in warehousing, medical, all over the place in agriculture as well. I'm excited to join today. Peter, I met you recently when you visited Pittsburgh, and I was able to show around our facility to you, and it was a great time to show some of this technology to you, and I'm excited to be here on the call. A lot of my background and skills is in doing very complex system development. I specialize in the front end of development, where we work with companies, kind of like Gustav, like your company, where if you have a really hard need that isn't able to be solved through available solutions, we can use our good history of background IP to really solve your problem and create new intellectual property to really make the custom robotic solution that is needed. I'm really excited to talk today. and joining on the conversation. Thanks for having me.
This is true. I met Gabriel like a month ago. I was in his plant. I was absolutely shocked, and I know that his voice today will be very valid because the technology which is developed by his company, which is localized in Pittsburgh, is really blow-minding. Yeah, it's really amazing what robots can do, what new technology can do. We are operating mainly in industrial business and robotization, which is quite very well known. But this is not the case in case of Gabriel. Okay. Teresa just joined us. Teresa, we are in the round of short introduction. So as a lady, it will be great if that stage will be yours for a while.
Okay. Hi. Mi nu mi pana poshna. I don't know. Is okay this time? My name is Teresa Iglesias, and I am the owner of Team Consulting. Team Consulting, we are specializing in human resources outsourcing. We try to help the companies to improve their business here in Spain. We try to find a technical solution for them, and not only this, we try to funding from sources like the European funds and another local grants to improve the business here in Spain and Portugal. We try to looking for partners in technological systems, robotics, and of course, we are specialists in recruitment and improve the digital talent here in our country.
Yeah, Teresa, thank you for your voice. Guys, to full understanding what's going on here, Teresa came from HR, but she's very hugely involved in the robotization. As you probably know, Spain is in very tough situation at that moment. It's quite difficult to be competitive, especially on the production side in Europe. And in Spain, the robotization is something which is not very well known when we look at the numbers. Last year, only 4,000 robots was sold in Spain. But Teresa and her team, they're masters in the robotization. They have concepts how to do it. So I'm really interested about your idea. And Fernando join us with Teresa, and his solution probably can be the answer. Fernando, can you tell us a couple words about you and your company?
Hello, thanks a lot. I am Fernando, representing RAS. RAS is a acronym of Robot as a Service. We are a service company based in Spain, and we are a company that acts as a subcontractor in projects of robotics, automation, and vision under a pay-per-use contract. We warranty a technological-free project without bank warranties and full warranty and maintenance. We are pure OPEX, and we are not a financial company. We don't lease, we don't rent money, we just offer a service. We exploit an Industry 4.0 project under a legal contract based on a pay-per-use system, something new and something that is really working well, because we are actually partnering with the engineering company or manufacturing and with the client. We are open for any kind of discussion, and we will be ready to open business in any place of Europe. Quick and easy.
Fantastic. Fernando, I don't know if you're aware about that, but DBR77 started Robot as a Service solution like 5 years ago. And after a couple disasters, we almost bankrupt and we decided to change the direction. So Robot as a Service in our part of the world doesn't work, but I'm really interested in what will be done later. Bartek, tell us a couple words about you, and that I also know is amazing story.
So it's an amazing story, but it's for sure the long story within the ABB, now Hitachi Energy. So I'm representing Hitachi Energy. Probably some of you know formally it was the ABB. ABB Power Grids division was sold to the Hitachi, and now we are called Hitachi Energy. So I'm 20 years in the company. I'm now the global operations manager responsible for the distribution transformers business. Distribution transformers for us are transformers basically smaller than 25, 30 MVA, so quite big range of the portfolio. So I have, let's say, under my umbrella, 25 factories producing different type of the transformers, and I guess will be interesting discussion because also we are a heavily engineered to order company, so we have very small, let's say, repetition of the units. In some cases, we have really like 2-3 units per design. We are having factories which are producing some, let's say, for power transformers, even 50-60 transformers a year. But also when you move to the distribution range of transformers, we have factories which produce more than 300 a day. So it's quite different setup. So looking forward also to have a fruitful discussion to see also how automation, robotization can also bring the value for us.
Yeah, I will of course add some small comments. Bartek is the leader of 25 factories, so you can imagine how hugely they are challenging now the robotization and digitalization, and we cooperate quite closely with our platform, so we know their challenges. And last but not least,
just a word explanation, Piotr. Sorry for disturbing you. Just okay. So I'm the global product group lord. So I'm thinking more exactly about more strategic initiatives, capex, but coordinating that also with the local factories management and the hub structure. So we have a bit the matrix organization, but yes, quite a big range of the factories under my umbrella.
Yeah. And last but for sure not least, my close friend from Harvard, who is with us today from Armenia. Short introduction.
Hi, Piotr. Thanks for invitation. You have such a representative panel here, and probably you decided to spice up the innovative spectrum with some old-style grumpy regulators. So here I am. I'm Garegin Gevorgyan with the Central Bank of Armenia. I'm helping the bank with the digital transformation, and also I'm very much involved in the upgrade and renovation of the payment system in Armenia and at the Central Bank of Armenia, apart from other responsibilities. Although I built my first robotic project like 40 years ago, then I stumbled upon economics and moved in a different direction. So very happy to drop my 2 pennies into the discussion.
Okay, guys, I have the first question, and probably with that question we can spend all of the evening. But my question is, what are global trends? What are global trends and challenges in the robotization for your different perspectives? Yeah, we have so many guys here and so different perspective. So let's try to avoid the situation, first of all, that we agree between each others. Yeah, I know that we cannot agree because our perspectives are different. And moreover, let's try to not say that robotization is the best solution for everything, because probably that this is not the best solution. Yeah, but what kind of global trends and challenges we can see? Gabriel, let's start with you. I believe you are the longer period of the time in that business between all of us.
Yeah, thank you, Peter. So this is a great question. I can give the perspective, especially from the US base, what I'm seeing lately over the last maybe 10 years. And what I'm finding is exactly what you've talked about in terms of the labor market and how things are changing. Right now, in the US at least, the problem is that our companies that we work with aren't able to actually find laborers to fill the roles. So while they would prefer to have people doing the tasks, they just can't find them in these roles. So we are implementing automation to really augment that. And the big trend I'm finding lately, and especially in my role, is we're getting more of a not 100% automated solution. We are specifically getting automation combined with human work so that robots can really do the really efficient tasks that they can do and really work hand in hand with the human workers. This is a trend where I think maybe 5-10 years ago, it was all about replacing all the workers with robotics and doing a completely lights out factory. While that still could be a case in some industries, a lot more recently, we've been doing more hand-in-hand work with automation being in the same work cell in a safe manner with the human workers, just to get that force multiplication of a single worker in the work environment. This is a really exciting trend for me because it lets us really be more efficient with our automation, and it brings that ROI level for a company to invest in robotics much lower. So instead of having to invest maybe $1 million into a robotic system, you can be very effective with maybe a fraction of that cost and get the output you need.
Yeah, but when we start with US, let's start with that market. The numbers shows that last year it was 40,000 industrial robots sold in US, which is like 4% higher. Well, the increase was like 4% last number of years. So the question is, when we have so huge labor costs like in US currently and lack of people, how is it possible that the robotization is not massive?
Yeah, if you're asking me, Peter, it's
Gabriel.
just that the implementation cost
let's
is
think
too
about
high.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I prepared for you some special perspective. Gustavo, tell us your story, because I know that you are a huge fan. You were a huge fan of robotization, and you are not now.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
Yeah. You know, when I met Piotr 10 years ago, he saw robots, a lot of robots in my company. And in that moment, Brazil was producing 4 million cars, almost 4, 3.8. And then the market goes down to 2.8. We lost 50% of the whole market. So what happens with this? I have 6 plants. This plant was the most with robots that I had. And this plant I closed. One of the reasons was too much robots, you know, because when in that way that not cobalt, just robots. So why? Because when you go down, if you have labor, you can adjust, you can talk, you can adjust the number of labors. But when you have robots in a very wild, Brazil market is like an aging test business, you know, we have low volumes, very stable volumes, and the price of the money is huge, like 20% a year of interest rate. So when you buy robots expensive, like Gabriel told us, that's not like this anymore. If you put a lot of robots and the markets go down, you cannot pay the loans and everything. So because of that, we take care a lot to choose the choice of robot. We have robots still, but I love 2 other kind of robots, that the RPAs, that nowadays we have 65 RPAs in every area of the company: purchase, commercial, sales, engineering, quality, and also digital robots. That's the biggest evolution in our case. Many 3 robots digital: one the extractor, then the smart robot, and the action robot that integrated with everything. So this is the things that we are developing a lot here.
Yeah, so you know, guys, if you probably remember, it was a huge hype on the BRIC countries years ago, yeah, and Brazil was a B from the BRIC country, and Gustavo invested a lot of cash in robotization. I remember that meeting; he was so enthusiastic, and now he says, first of all, the market is not stable. Second of all, there is an issue of huge cost of cash. I don't know, like 20% inflation rate nowadays.
The inflation is 4, but the inflation is 4, but the interest rate in real, if you take from the bank, is about 20% a year. So it's crazy. It's impossible.
Yeah.
So that's why we created digital robots that, you know, and with artificial intelligence in these robots. For example, how you find out root causes in Ishikawa automatically, you know, for example.
Yeah. Okay. Bartek, I know that your experience is also at that moment not great. I mean, you don't operate with huge number of robots. Yeah. So the question is, why?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. And in my introduction, I already mentioned that we are really heavily engineered to order products. So we have really big variation of let's say components, accessories in our production, and it so far was very costly to find the good solution to be able to fully automate the process. So for us, the priority was always the investment done more on the automated line or increasing the capacity. Not so much we were able to justify, let's say, the cost savings coming from robotization of certain products. But I think now what I think the Gustavo also mentioned with let's say more autonomous solution, with the implementation of artificial intelligence, with more sensors, the let's say whole logic of programming robot and adjusting or being able to adjust that to your portfolio should become easier, and at the end should be cheaper to implement them. So then you will have a faster payback from such solutions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the question. Yeah,
Bartek has a really good point on the live planning here. I think our industry has been very rigid in how we automate. Lately, I've been seeing a lot of newer automation, especially in lean manufacturing and to do live path planning, so you're not rigid on your paths. So you can do live automation. You can adjust your movements a lot more easily with the sensing implementation. Lately, we've been seeing in additive manufacturing a huge uptake in robotization, right? And robots implemented that is enabled through new sensors that we're implementing. So I think that he's on the right track about how things are going to be changing for a lot more adaptability in the industry here.
Yeah, I think that this is a very interesting topic. What will be the change when the, let's say, new technology will come, especially AI and sensing, which we are facing now. But before that, I will ask about the situation in Armenia, because our guest will leave us very close, very soon. And I'm really interested because, honestly, I have no clue what's the robotization status in that part of the world. Can you share us your experience? I mean, more your country experience than yours.
Well, yeah, I'm probably not the best person to talk about the robotization in Armenia, but I can give you a couple of examples. So we are, as a sponsor, we are very much involved in the expansion of Fab Lab experiment in Armenia. So we, in collaboration with MIT Fab Lab network, we have helped set up Fab Lab in Armenia, and it's a good educational facility. So we feel that robotics is becoming has become a mainstream, and we are looking to build human capacity that will be capable of building, maintaining robots and operating systems that are running these robots. In addition, we are also very much involved as a country. We are also very much involved in exactly building software for robotic systems. And we have some success in that area. We also have engineering capacity. Several companies are involved in building parts for robots. So generally speaking, we are getting integrated into the robotic community. And we feel all the trends, and our experience is that it's very much dependent on the cost for investment measure, and as the real interest rates are going up, the decisions whether to invest in robotic systems and to go full scale robotic is going to be more cautious, and we will see that we will need more flexible systems, that we will need smaller and more specialized systems. So this is from the user perspective, we see that even in Armenia, we have labor shortage, and the solution would be to come up with some specialized, lower cost, more universal systems that will help with labor shortages. That's probably it from Armenian side.
I do believe for all of us, discussion about the robotization in Armenia is a huge surprise, yeah, because everyone when thinks about the robotization speak about Japan, China, of course, and US and Germany, South Korea, not about Armenia. And the information that you face a shortage of labor in that area, it's also quite interesting for us. Yeah, Teresa, tell us why people don't want to invest in robots. Yeah, you are HR. Guys, I have to tell you the secret. We worked with Teresa like 5 years together.
People invest in robots. The problem that we have here in the north of Spain is the increase of salary. The average is around 22%, okay? And then it's against of the situation in Brazil. In the past, Brazil put limits to do investment in robots. But here in Spain, we don't have limits according with the law. The problem are the trade union in one side, but we try to convince them that if you use this kind of technologies, robot automatization with other kind of technologies that we have, the cost of the product reduce, and for that is you are more competitor to try to find more business and to grow up. This is the only problem that we have in Spain, but the people here, the companies here wants to work in this line and in this way.
So as I understand you well, people want to invest in Spain, but you are facing problem with labor union, or not so much?
Yes.
Guys, this is also quite amazing, yeah. Especially that when we do the calculation and people don't see this. I always have such discussion, and people ask me, what you will think that the robot will take the job from your kids? And I used to just say, first of all, I don't expect that my kid will work on the production line. And the second thing is, I always ask, do you have a hammer in your home? They say, yeah, I have hammer. So you can use a hammer to put a nail into the wood. You can do it by your hand. Yeah, this is only the way to be more efficient. Yeah. So
here you have two problems. One is the people who have knowledge, who decide to looking for another kind of job out of Spain, and that is very difficult for us to find technological knowledge. And in the other side, the people who are working in the factory floor thinks that if you improve this kind of system, they are not digital knowledge or not technical knowledge to manage. And for that, the companies have to do, in some cases, some investment to improve these profiles. This is I think that one of the problems that we have.
Okay, so let's make a short summary. So Gustavo said problem is a labor cost and not flexible market, or just flexible market. Yeah, the problem with the market. Teresa said labor union. What else? Guys, do you see some challenges with the robotization?
Peter, I see that a lot of companies need to see a positive ROI early on to invest. Yeah, exactly. And that's a lot of the barrier that we're seeing right now, is that there's a lot more of a hurdle to get the work. And I'm coming from the front end of doing custom robotic development, not from selling stock components, but you need to have a lot more proof that your solution will work early on and provide a much quicker ROI. That's what I'm seeing right now from the company perspective.
Okay, so the question, Gabriel and Bartek, maybe to both of you, the question is if this is a problem with proper calculation, or this is a problem that ROI is still not good enough. So two different stories,
yeah? But I think it's okay. It's also when you have a limited experience, a small number of projects, then of course your ROI calculation is probably more careful with let's say you are more cautious how to calculate it. So more experience than probably more precise calculation. But yes, still to me this is a challenge. So managing capex and looking where you will really get the most benefits. Still the automation is maybe not the top priority. We are also a bit I guess depends on which phase your business is in. But we see now really big growth. So the main focus for us is really how to increase the capacity, and then you also have to prioritize. Are you investing in improving, let's say, the cost, or you are investing to increase your capacity the fastest way? And then you do not always, let's say, that the robot is the best option or best solution.
Yeah. Gabriel, what's your feeling? This is the problem with proper calculation, or the problem is that the ROI is not right?
It could be a little bit of both. I completely agree that it depends on scalability, right? It depends on where you're coming from in terms of how many installation locations you might have. but we're seeing companies that have never even broached robotization at all approaching us to dip their toe into making their own solutions. And it's purely because they can't hit their productivity needs at a good cost level in their operations that are growing. You know, we're talking about warehousing operations, farmers, supermarket chains, people that really need to have this growth projection, and they can't get there with the labor market. So I'd say it's 100% inexperienced because they haven't done this robotic cost model. So we have to educate them on this and then provide solutions in the same hand.
I think that you touched the point in that sentence, because I think that the key word is education. And especially in Poland, we are at that moment very focused on the education. But my understanding is that we unfortunately do it wrongly, because we are focused on the education of technicians, how they can deal with robot programming. I personally believe that the huge challenge is the education on the top level of the organization. When, like myself, I'm 47, I was the CEO of huge company. I had no clue how to calculate properly, And I do believe that the story of education should start on the level of C-level of the organization, how the digital transformation should be organized, when robotization is, how to calculate it, how organize all process, and based on that education, finally, maybe the process of transformation will be started. Fernando, you are the answer, Tell us, you are the answer. Correct.
Thank God. Thank God that Shangan's got the clue. Well, last but not least, the fact is that we have a clear trend. 10 out of 12 deals that come into our mail come from warehouse automation. 7 out of 10, 10 out of 12, as clear as that. In terms of robotics, 10 out of 10 come from the welding projects. 10 out of 10. There ain't any specialist on the market. There ain't. They are trying to catch them in Romania, Bulgaria, Portugal, where else. But the fact is that there is not a single technician available in the country. That is our niche. That is our niche, and those multinationals who have no capex. It is a good place where we swim. We have actually more than 100 deals with multinationals, but those multinationals always ask for a warehousing, always. That's the main factor to start a industry 4.0 project in Spain. Let's put it this way: in the PIGS countries, our clients look for subsidies. That's the trend. If there ain't subsidies, they'll expect their main factories to get their capex. And if there is no capex, there is a solution called RAS. As far as today, we are struggling, as you just mentioned, to close as many deals as we want. But we are the clear trend in the market, because many big companies have already searched a company like us in Europe, and there aren't many. So we are actually working in places such as Mexico, Colombia, Chile, Spain, Portugal, and the United Kingdom. We are not a solution for everything, but we have clearly marked who is our client, or what can we do for them. Tell a client that we are a free technological project is something new. That is something that differs us from the rest. And our niche is clear: automation in warehousing. If I get it to put it in figures, around 84 million a year in projects. That's the real thing. All the rest, especially talking about robotics in welding, is peanuts.
Yeah, that's true that robot as a service solution can improve the process a lot. But I think that we touched, probably, I do hope, the last point, which is a challenge, is a problem with integrators. I don't know how is it in your markets, especially Gabriel.
There is no problem with integrators, Piotr. The problem is with the labor. There is no labor available. There is no.
You mean labor
We get to
in the integrators area, or generally labor who want to do the job on the production factory?
In both senses, but especially on the manufacturing plants, who can't find a specialist anywhere in the country. And this is the place where we come and offer a solution, where we came and explode an industrial project within the house with no cost, with no risk. That's the only thing where we can be a real solution.
Yeah. Guys, the summary from that part is that unfortunately, probably in many countries, in many places around the world, we face the same problems. Yeah, there is a problem with ROI, there's a problem with investment which has to be done, problem with integrators. We are facing a lot of problems with integrators in our area. We are facing the same issue, that is a lack of people which want to do the job on the production factories. 5 years ago, I started my experience with robotization, and I remember when I look at the numbers, I said, wow, 10% salary increase every year, and lack of people. In Poland, we have like 2 million people which can be hired immediately. We don't have such people. And so I said, wow, robotization is the answer. And 5 years later, we are more or less in the same place when we were 5 years ago. So it didn't start, yeah? But maybe the opportunity is AI. And we have a question from our people on the conference. I wonder, what do you think about hype of AI and going to manage robots by AI? Guys, do you think, and Gabriel, of course, will ask you as the first guy, because I saw what you have in your factory. Do you think that AI will change the world, and maybe that will be the answer for the challenges which we just described?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think the reality is it already has. Here at NREC, AI has been in most of our systems for several years. I think right now, as you all know, it's getting more accessible, right? And the barrier to entry on it is lower. But for us, I think it is just going to continue to enable more and more advanced things. An example case here is that instead of, if we do sensor fusion, and we make custom sensors here all the time, instead of doing the exact sensor design to sense the exact thing you might want, instead we can throw an array of sensors of different spectrums at a problem and just train an ML model to work without having to do the intensive coding, right? And it's something that we're doing on a day-to-day that really helps to make these systems more effective. If you go beyond that, you can see where the implementation opportunities are in AI and a system level as well. My whole point here is that I'm not scared of AI because we've been in this world already for a while. It's just that I think the world is now seeing the opportunity of it, and they might not realize how much AI there already is in their products and their systems that they already use.
Yeah, when Gabriel said, please guys, check out the website of his company, and you can see what kind of technology they built years ago. You will see when Gabriel said that we should be not be scared so much about AI. This is probably true. But Gustavo, you are working now with AI. Do you expect that AI will help you with your own company and with your clients?
Of course, man. I'm developing AI in my company the last 7 years, and the main focus is helping people increase performance and machine increase performance, put all together, working together. So, for example, the AI tells people what to do in that exactly moment, or AI can prescribe balance of lines for tomorrow, because we have the chrono analysis in real time, we calculate the takt time, and then we balance the line for the demand for tomorrow. So, or we can manage who is, for example, in my company, when the operator puts the clock on, I don't know, starts the journey. The AI knows the production orders and know which operator is best where. So the AI send the operator to the right place for today. So just an example, or as I'm telling you, we get data from the 6M of Ishikawa. We know the cause and we know the effect, so we can find easily the root cause of failure instead of teams of Six Sigma doing itself. So we're training our robots to become black belt members and work together with people. So that's is the future, in my opinion, is robots dealing with big data and working together with great teams of humans and together to solve problems and to not only solve problems, but we found results in where it was not possible to achieve. For example, Sigma. If you decrease Sigma because of this human and machine AI performance together, you can have a so little Sigma that you can go and produce nearby the inferior limit of engineering, for example. So it's a complete new result area. Many opportunities appears in this new just behind your eyes, right? In your company. So it's very nice. It's incredible.
So as I understand you, let's say on the war which you are working on at that moment, on fighting, you decide that robotization, I mean the industrial robots, is maybe not the best solution because it's too costly, yeah. But you are trying to find efficiency, yeah, efficiency on the stuff which you currently have, and to be very very efficient and very very flexible.
Yeah,
and this is not the
Piotr,
Chinese way.
It's important. When you see the data, you put a robot chirurgically. It's sometimes very small robot, it's very small automatization that you need to solve a specific issue that the data is showing to you. And when you do this, normally there is a kind that Stuart Kaufman is a doctor of the last century, and he studied complex problems, and he creates the adjacent possible theory. That means don't evaluate a technology for what it solves, but the doors that it opens. So normally when you are in this world of innovation, you attacked something, but after you do, you solve another issue that you didn't imagine. So it's very exciting. And that's why I am nowadays in my company, I am very focused in two things: digitalization with AI and sustainability also. Is the two drives I'm personally running with my team. In Data Week, we have 35 devs only creating these kind of things to factory.
Yeah, this is very, very important message, and I would like to say that probably the most important part message from our meeting, because guys, we are very often as a platform, we heard many times we need robots, but when we want to put robots blindly, without any calculations, without any data, and just simply put automatization on the plant, we can automatize our mistakes. And what Gustavo did a couple years ago, this is a great business case. It was, I don't want to say blind robotization, but it was not robotization which was done properly, with good research at the very beginning. And this is something which I believe is very smart, to say that let's start with a planning, with measurement, with data, then with optimization of the process, and the robotization finally. Yeah, and such sequence can give us good results. Do you agree with me?
Yeah, Piotr, let me just say that when the country has huge volumes, I think is more difficult to think about artificial intelligence, because robotization can solve easily. I mean, not the factory problem. So when you don't have volumes, you need to find out other solution. That's why we are always thinking in artificial intelligence instead of robots. But when it's possible to put robots, it's fantastic. But when normally it's not possible, is not feasible.
Yeah. Bartek, can you tell us a little bit what is your agenda regarding to digitalization? Do you, of course, what you can have, because I know that a lot of things are secret, yeah, but I know that you have also public communication about the digitalization, so you can share with us what is publicly known.
For sure, the digitalization is something which is ongoing, and to the point what Luis Gustavo was saying, I think that there is really a lot of data available, a lot of manufacturing data, which is really a goldmine for taking the right decision if it comes to the process optimization. And I really like the word what he said, the black belt robot. So yes, we are also looking into those topics, how much, let's say, artificial intelligence can support us on the solving quality issues, solving some production challenges, and also again coming back to our portfolio engineer to order, for sure, having a data understanding, let's say, what is possible to achieve in the production, what are really the tolerances. This helps us to really optimize the product much better than with the conventional tools. So there's big push for sure to collect even more information. So we're really looking, okay, it's also part of the area where the robots could help, or more automation could help, is how to collect even more quality measurements, quality data. So that would be also the one additional area to look to replace all manual inspections, for sure, with the automated one, plus really allow to improve or collect much more information from how the products are built, how the production is executed.
Yeah, but I think that Gustavo has in his mind a complete map how to do the process of digitalization. As he said at the beginning, this is second generation of owners in the company, and when you are the owner, you sleep all of the night, you think how to change my world. And we had with Gustavo a nice chat when COVID started, and Gustavo asked me, should I reduce number of people or not, because I'm really scared. And in his head, I'm sure such digitalization map exists. And Bartek, the question is, do your organization prepare such strategy, how to make a digitalization process? Do you believe that such document, such strategy can be valid for you?
No, they are existing, they are valid. I would not reveal too much details on that, but yes, it's existing. And also, okay, now we're taking advantage of being part of the Hitachi group as such. So Hitachi was already working on those topics even more in the past. So we are now benefiting, let's say, from being part of even larger the organization, and can get a lot of, let's say, work or benefit from the work already done by the Hitachi group. So.
Yeah, but I see in the tone of our conversation that, guys, we are a little bit, I don't know, maybe not skeptical, but maybe a little bit afraid of the robotization. I do hope this is not the case. So at the end of our meeting,
I think it's a good point when we're talking this ROE also investment. I think that the one part that was mentioned few times, the shortage of the people and the workforce, and this is hard to, let's say, put in the ROE calculation to know, okay, in 5 years from now, will I have enough winders, welders? This is something which probably you need to put more a bit on the strategy and think, okay, I have to assume that there will be really lack of those competences, and maybe even if there is no, let's say, payback calculation show at this moment, and in future it will be really to be or not to be in the business. So.
This is probably finally the first moment when I can say, you are not right, I don't agree with you, because we can quite easily calculate ROE, especially regarding to lack of people. Many of our clients losing market and losing turnover because of lack of people. Yeah. So, for example, when we had a client who were working 3 shifts a day and now is able to collect only 2 shifts because nobody want to work on night, which I can guess the same story Teresa has in Spain. Nobody want to work during the night shift. Yeah, that means that we are losing turnover. So when we lose turnover, we lose margin. When you lose margin, we can finally put that component to ROE analysis. So the same story when we are losing people. Yeah, this is a lack of talent. Means that quality and productivity will drop, yeah? And all of that numbers, we can put the calculation. Of course, nobody want to do that because we don't want to say that in 5 years from now, the situation will be so dramatic as we expect it will be. So we can calculate it.
Yeah, but then again, it's, I guess, varies from region by region, country by country, and then depends how good your crystal ball is to to predict that the ROE will be correct or not.
Yeah. Okay, guys. At the end of the meeting, I would like to ask each of you to maybe short summary and also your crystal ball perspective. What is your forecast? What is your estimation? Yeah. How digitalization of the production and how robotization specifically will look on the world in your area within 5 years? Do you expect some huge changes or how it will work soon? And I will start with Gustavo because Gustavo has another meeting with a client in 6 minutes from now. He's in Europe, not in Brazil, with DAF, as I remember well. Yeah. So Gustavo is leaving very soon. Gustavo, how the world will look in 5 years from now?
Well, I think, right, because it's very hard to see 1 year ago, 1 year from now, but 5 is quite big. But I think it's more and more humans together with artificial intelligence. I think it's very nice when the development is going this way, because people in this way is not afraid. People are empowered to do what is very strong by humans, right? Creativity, things, all these things that is nice, and let the artificial intelligence work in what we are not good, like processing big data, memory, all these things that we are not so good. So answering is more and more working together, people and humans. Humans and robots and artificial intelligence. That's my opinion. Okay.
So you don't expect that it will be huge change in robotization, but you believe that AI will accelerate. And this is fun. This is, I don't want to say funny point, but this is very valid point. 3, 4, 5 years ago, all of us was asked, do you expect that robots will take your place in your job? And this is not a robot who will take our job. It will be GTP, who will do it quite much quicker than robotization. Gabriel, what is your forecast? Yeah, you are the visionary. Nah, this is not a guess. This is not fair because Gabriel knows what will be 4 or 5 years from now. That will be prepared in his factory.
Yeah, it's not quite fair for me. We are doing a development that is going to be implemented. And just to give some education here, we're at the very front end of development, and we work with companies that usually take our prototypes and then spin them off into startups or implement them, right? So you're right. I'd have an unfair look at this, but I think that there's a lot of valid statements we've said already. On the digital front, I think one huge area for us that will be helpful is data collection, right? That's always a hard part of building your AI models and your machine learning models, and doing digital data collection is a huge area that is going to be really help to make your models even better without having to physically collect. This is something where you can do digital testing of your systems and really get a very robust system. That's one area on the digital side. On the physical side, like I said, things are already creeping into industry on a day-to-day, but there's going to be a lot more workers that are going to be more and more used to complex robotic systems in our work cell. I love that we have a representative from Hitachi and ABB here because work with those systems a lot, but still it's a very rugged work cell. It's still a very protected area. Getting to the point where you can have a very complex machine that does very high-level tasks working safely next to a human is going to be more and more common. Adding mobility to systems, having more implementation of automation in new industries, that's still happening. I think there's a lot going on right now with that, and I can say in 5-10 years it's going to be very exciting about what's happening. I'm happy to touch on any specific industries if you want, Peter, but generally, I really am hopeful for how this is going to be implemented, and I'm not as much of a scared about how AI or ML is going to be implemented. I think it's going to be done in a way that really is going to be efficient for businesses.
Yeah, I also believe that AI will change the speed how we put physical robotization, because the code will be prepared much quicker, and whole communication can change completely. So I personally believe that data and AI will have huge impact on the physical side. Teresa, what will be the future? How the labor market will change?
Just say, guys, I need to leave. I really thank you, guys. Piotr, sorry, I have a meeting now. Appreciate all this discussion. Okay, thank you very much, people.
Thanks,
Thank you, Gustavo, for being with us.
Okay, man.
And now I can tell you a lot of jokes about Gustavo.
I think artificial intelligence is not intelligent. I think that is the problem that we have now. For example, in Spain, only 8% of people use artificial intelligence, and especially in management. I think that we need to have real data, and to do this, we must work together. Technological solution, robotization, and other kind of technical solution. Artificial intelligence, I am sure that we need to improve the talent in this way and in this area that we don't have.
Okay, so you believe that in 5 years from now we will use much more AI than now, or it will be as slow as it is at the moment? Guys, GPT appeared a year ago. Yeah, am I right? A year ago. And now when I have MBA students, quite often I ask who used GPT, and everyone raises their hand. And then I ask who used it last week, and almost nobody. Yeah, when I have MBA students. Yeah, so the average probably is much lower. So let's see.
No, but the data here in Spain is only 8% of people are using artificial intelligence. The data is 1 week ago, and the level is low because the companies are afraid to use this to cover and to take care about the data or the internal information to put in the cloud.
Yeah. Fernando, what do you think? What will be the future? 5 years from now, robots in every single production factory based on the robot as a service solution. Am I right?
Piotr, the AI is here, and it's going to be here for then on. In RAS, we got an Internet of Things, and it is run by an IA program, because we know and we believe that we have to be capable of understanding what's going on, what kind of breakdowns. We need to be ready for maintenance. We need to understand before and better than nobody else what's going on in our project. Let's say that download numbers on a web page is easy, but someone's got to understand what's going on to be preventive. And as far as today, we just understand that the EI is doing that for us and for our projects. As far as I see, the EI is going to grow much quicker than the robotics, because the EI is going to work for a robotic project and for a non-robotic project. As easy as that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Bartek, we are closing our meeting with your forecast within 5 years. What will be changed?
No, for sure. I think that the role of artificial intelligence that we will see big change how we operate things. But I also one thing which we do not touch so much. I'm still wondering the humanoid robots like Optimus from Tesla. To what extent that would start to be visible, big scale in the factories operations? So to me, it's a bit a question mark. You probably know more from the robotic segments if that's the case, but would be interesting to see in 5 years if we really see more humanoid robots appearing.
Gabriel produced such robots like 15 years ago. Am I right?
Yeah, I just put it in the chat. Yeah, we made a humanoid for several tasks, but there's still the problem with humanoids isn't that we can make them; it's the edge cases, right? With many robotics, is that to be able to handle everything is going to be tough.
Yeah, Guys, my estimation is that maybe finally 5 years from now we will have robotization, and I will close our meeting with the sentence which I normally start. Very often when I'm on the scene, I ask people, hey, I have a couple of questions for you. First question is, who wanna buy a car within 5 years? Raise the hand. And more or less 50% people raise the hand. Then I ask, who wanna buy shoes within next year? And then people normally, smile, especially women, yeah? Shoes within a year. And then I ask, who wanna buy a toothpaste within next 3 months? Everyone raise the hand. Then I ask, hey, who wanna send your kit on the production floor to produce it? And you can guess, nobody, never raised a hand. And this is a true challenge which we guys from the physical robotization have to solve, because there is a huge challenge. People are, our generation are aging, and young people, they don't wanna do production, they don't wanna do such simple work because of many reasons. So we have to solve the challenge, and our generation probably have to do it. Thank you very much for your time. That was really amazing. That was our first panel within English. I don't know what our guests will tell us after such time. Thank you very much for your time, especially that for part of you are called with very short notice. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. A my kończymy pierwszy dzień. Kończymy pierwszy dzień spotkań. Bardzo Wam wszystkim dziękuję za to, że dotrwaliśmy do teraz. Jeżeli macie jakiekolwiek komentarze z dzisiejszego dnia, oczywiście zapraszamy jeszcze, żeby na czacie je umieścić. Wszystkie materiały, które były dzisiaj pokazywane, oczywiście będą dostępne zarówno tutaj, jak i na stronach DBR77. Jutro zaczynamy o 9:30. Zaczynamy jutro dzień pod tytułem Digitalizacja. Jutro będziemy się zajmowali mniej robotyzacją, a bardziej transformacją digitalną. Słuchajcie, przygotowaliśmy na początek dość zaskakujący raport. My jako firma przygotowujemy mapy rozwoju digitalnego i przygotowaliśmy raport z tych map, które już przeprowadziliśmy. Z tego co wiem, jeszcze nikt w Polsce tego nigdy nie zrobił, bo chyba nikt nie przygotował tyle map, co my przygotowaliśmy. Więc jutro zaczniemy o godzinie 9:30 od tego, żeby opowiedzieć Wam o tym, jak wygląda proces digitalizacji polskich firm z bardzo głęboką analizą, a później przez cały dzień, mam nadzieję, dostarczymy jeszcze trochę wrażeń, trochę edukacji. Ja osobiście bardzo zapraszam na mój panel, który będzie o 13:45 i będę opowiadał o bliźniaku cyfrowym, ale mam nadzieję, że wszystkie te panele przygotowaliśmy tak, że każdy znajdzie w nich coś ciekawego. Dziękuję serdecznie za ten dzień i do zobaczenia jutro.